All right. All right, we are back with the last topic. Listen, before I get into the last topic, the Donald Trump shooting, y'all gonna call it an assassination. I call it a shooting, but I'm gonna share my thoughts on it, not now. Man, not now. Later on, when I gather all my thoughts, because there's a lot I have to say, and I want to make sure that I say everything. So there's that. But this topic here, we're going to talk about another, I guess, alleged racist, even though I think Hulk Hogan has been proven to be racist rather than Donald Trump. Uh, Personally, I do believe that. Not to say that I think Donald Trump's a nice guy or that he cares about black people. I don't think he cares about anybody but himself. But that's neither here or there for this video. We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Hulk Hogan again. He finds himself in another controversy of being called a racist because he allegedly fired two black models or brand ambassadors who were endorsing his beer brand. I believe it's called like American Beer or something like that. Whatever the case is, right? Don't really matter. They don't sponsor this podcast, and I haven't heard ads from them. So, to my knowledge, they don't sponsor the podcast. I don't need to get their name right, but pretty much, one of the models, Essence Janae, or influencers, whatever you want to call it, influencer model. I'm old, so I call them models. But nonetheless, one of the influencers came out and she posted two TikTok videos. I will share both videos. And you can go on her TikTok or you can go on the Twitter page that I'm going to be referencing, which is the art of dialogue. But pretty much in gist, Essence Janae says that she met with Hulk Hogan, and the next day she gets a message from his team, essentially saying, "Listen, the event has been canceled, and therefore you're no longer needed." She questioned in the text message if all of the events were needed, because again she was only hired on to do a week, I guess a week of this promo of Hulk Hogan's new beer. Okay, so she questioned about it, and she was told, and you'll see in the text messages, but she was told that the entire event was canceled, not because she did anything wrong personally. It has nothing to do with her in general. It has to do with the fact that the event was canceled, and therefore her and the other influencers or models were no longer needed. Now, if that was the case, that would be totally understandable. But Janae has proof that not only did the event continue to go on, but her and the other influencer or model, which I don't know this other woman's name, but you can clearly tell that Janae wasn't the only one that was fired. It was her and the other woman that you see her with um, a lot in the photos and in the pictures, well, in the photos and the videos that we are about to look into. Without further ado, let me share the screen. Let me share the screen now. Charlemagne, we live. We live. All right. So this is the first video from as this is Essence Janae. Okay, gorgeous young lady. Hopefully I don't get copyright for the songs that she's got playing. One of the videos she has, they're both instrumentals, by the way, but one of the videos she has Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Not sure whose beat is this playing in the background, but don't copyright strike me, YouTube. I'm more so afraid of YouTube copyright striking me, but it's 10 seconds, so we'll see. As long as I don't make it longer. I I'm a full screen it for y'all. Yeah, so because there is text on the screen, and I don't think some of y'all might have terrible vision like me, and you won't be able to see it if it wasn't full screen. So I can read it now. I'm not going to read it for you though. without further ado, let it play. So the other girl that you seen her with, or the other young lady that you seen her with, that's the other model who lost her job. And I'm saying she lost her job because when and the Nets, I didn't say play yet. Mustard on a beat. Hope. Hey, mustard. Let me stop. Sorry. But no, on the other this video here, you're gonna see pictures of Janae with the other model. Okay. But at the same time, let me move my camera over here real quick so I don't look crazy while I'm looking up at my top right. All right. Let me block her. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, let me stop. But no, like, so the other model, you can tell she lost the job too, but she's not speaking out. Janae just decided, I guess she's gonna speak out for not just herself, but probably anyone else, but mainly herself. You'll see in this video, and as you can see from the text here, listen, she was supposed to do the event, get paid for it. She ended up getting fired. As I described, here is the next video. This is a minute and 1 second. Hopefully, again, I don't get copyright written up. Let me move the camera so y'all can see her. Tatas, you creeps. All right, let's get it. Mustard on the beat, ho. I'm sorry, y'all. Beat your ass, everybody. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna continue playing it. Hold on, y'all. Even though it's the same old thing. So pretty much it's the same thing. She's gonna show the pictures from the event that happened the day after she was initially fired. She got fired on the 2nd. All this happened in July, by the way, if you couldn't see the dates. So July 2nd, she got a text. July 1st, she is the picture you see with her, and it looks like her friend who is also an influencer, because again you see them a lot, so I'm assuming they're at least tight, you know. Her and her friend did this event. Hulk Hogan was there with them. Okay, apparently things behind the scenes happened where Hulk was like, if you don't fire these women, then the event is off. So guess what, they reached out, and the client, or not the client, but you know, the folks or whatever, the people she was doing business with, she was essentially, I should just say, working for, um because Hulk Hogan was the client, but essentially she was working for these people, but they hired her on for Hulk Hogan's brand, right? So that happened on the 1st. The next day was the 2nd, where she got the text pretty much being told that the entire week was going to be canceled. We clearly see that's a lie, because the very next day, which happened to be the 3rd, you see that not only is the event still going, but they hired all new models. And these all new models don't look anything ethnic at all. They're just a bunch of white women, and the only difference between them is the color of their hair, blondes and brunettes, right? And so clearly, like, it was a situation to where, or it appears to be a situation to where, race may have been the reason as to why Essence, Janae, and the other model got fired. You can tell that these are two ethnic women. Essence is saying that she's black. The other woman might identify as black, but she clearly doesn't look white. If she might be, I'm not saying she might not have some white in her. You know what I'm saying? She might be half or whatever. I'm not speculating in the ethnicity or race of the other woman and saying that she's black as well. But the thing is, when you look again, you look at the pictures of the second day of that event, um, or the third day of that event, you see that the other woman isn't there as well. So one could muster up, no pun intended, but no one can muster up that maybe she was fired too. Okay. And also, they rehired all these other models, and all the other models are, again, as you see, white, or as you've seen, you can rewind it yourself, are white women. And the only color they have is the color on their head, either blonde or black hair, or very dark brown, brunette, whatever. So it's looking like Essence has a case, you know. It's looking very suspicious for the Hulkster, you know. Um, and he has a past with being racist. Back in 2015, his daughter secretly recorded him going off on her and using the N word to describe her boyfriend at the time. I don't know if she's still dating a guy, but her boyfriend at the time, and Hulk Hogan used the N word to describe the guy. He's apologized and said things like, "Oh, I shouldn't have used that word." It's much deeper than the word use of the word Hulkster. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, don't use that word, but it's the idea that you have that this man wasn't good enough for your daughter because of the color of his skin. It has zero to do with the man's character. You probably didn't know who he was. You don't know who he is. Um, and you just saw that my daughter brought home a black man. That's the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth. He didn't, again, he said I shouldn't have used that word. Well, you shouldn't have been racist in the first place. Even if you used a different word, even if you used a kinder word, you're still a racist. So it doesn't look good for Hulk Hogan when years ago, you are going off on your daughter and you're describing her boyfriend as an N word. And again, you're going off on this dude because he's black. Now, years later, you find out that two models who were brand ambassadors for your beer are black. And you take pictures with the models, right? Because you don't want to not seem like you hate black people. Um, or seem like you hate black people, right? You don't want to seem like you're racist, right? So of course you're gonna take pictures, you're gonna smile, this, that, and the third. Anybody who were to comment or to think this, and by the way, I'm speaking to the visual watchers out there. For the audio listeners, if there are audio listeners, once again, you will have to go and look on you get the tweet is still up. I got these videos from the tweet of, again, Art of Dialogue. That's the Twitter page you can go, or X account that you can go, or you can simply just hit the link in the description box below, a YouTube link, and you'll find this video as well when it's up. So the audio listeners, uh, do well. You'll probably find a video, either or, either or. The point of the matter is, Essence Janae does have a point, but I personally don't want to, even with Hulk Hogan's past with racism. I'm not saying I'm giving the man the benefit of the doubt. Absolutely not. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I do believe that there are instances where black people or people of color will knowingly do business or knowingly align themselves with somebody who is racist or someone who is controversial, right? When it comes to not being the most let's just say welcoming individual, right? They will know this about somebody and still do business with them because one, they're like, it's money, I don't give a damn, it's an easy come up. Two, they know that if something were to go wrong or something like one false move, they're just going to start crying, oh, racist, racist, or they're going to start, crying whatever bad thing that individual is known for, even if it's not true. The court of public opinion, public perception is already going to paint that individual as guilty because they've been guilty of doing said thing in the past. Now, that's that individual's fault. No way in shape or form am I saying that people who might be assuming that what this young lady is saying is true without actually seeing. I mean, what she presented is makes a case. And as I said before, it does make her case claims look valid, but we've only heard one side of the story. Um, I think that the beer company did put out a statement. In fact, I am going to look. I'm not going to share the screen yet, because I did not see said statement, but I kept seeing headlines uh, that they did make a statement. So I'm just typing in something on Google real quick. All right. There it goes. Boom. So the statement reads as this: We are deeply troubled by the false rumor circulating on social media that a brand ambassador hired by a third party marketing agency was terminated by Hulk Hogan for racial reasons. This is, and as I was stating before, she doesn't necessarily, she was getting it mixed up, which I think a lot of people do this. Hulk Hogan didn't hire her. Hulk Hogan is the client. What that pretty much means is he reached out to a essentially a job agency, right? Somewhat like a temp agency, but like a job agency. He reached out to them saying, "Can you find people to do this for me?" He and his beer brand pretty much reached out to most likely the brand folk, reached out to um, the third party agency and said, "Can you find models for me to be brand ambassadors for my brand for this beer brand?" Right? They're the ones who sought out Essence, her friend, and any of the other models possibly. Right? I don't know about the white ones that replaced Essence and her friend, but nonetheless, the only thing that she got wrong in her statements was she kept saying Hulk Hogan hired me. No, Hulk Hogan didn't hire you. Hulk Hogan's a client. The agency hired you. And then they made it clear that our client no longer wants to conduct business because these shows are canceled. These events are canceled. Now we clearly saw that was a lie. I mean, you can't tell me or anybody that something has been canceled for the entire week and then the very next day after telling somebody that you have an event for that very same thing. That's not a week, mama. That's a day. That's number one. Number two, um, it's a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? So like I get that. Um, but that is the statement. They're coming out and again they're saying that this woman is lying. I am not saying that Janae is lying as well. I am going to say this though. I'm not going to fully buy into the fact that what she is saying is true simply because I don't want to look like a fool, honestly. If it comes out that she's lying, that she is using this situation She's using the reputation Hulk Hogan has as being a racist, all fault to himself, not anybody else. You know, you wouldn't be having a reputation of being a racist if you was not racist, or you did not make racist rants, if you did not, like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you avoid being called a racist. And I know there are white people who get called racist and they clearly aren't racist and stuff. I know that happens. Trust me, I know that. But at the same time, there are situations where if you're gonna call somebody a racist and they have shown in the past that they are racist, or they have said it's something racist, done something racist, it's okay to call them a racist. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this situation goes, just because it's, in the past, it was Hulk Hogan was walking like a duck and quacking like a duck, and therefore we called him a duck. Um, doesn't mean this situation here, he's walking and quacking like a duck. Now, sure, does it seem very, I guess one can say it is racist or colorist or whatever you want to consider it, that the two black women get canned, no pun intended, but no, they get canned from promoting this beer. And the next day you see a bunch of white women who are now the models and face of promoting said beer. Does that suck? Yeah. Again, with especially with Janae and the other woman actually being gorgeous women. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, if Hulk Hogan, if the other people who are in charge of this beer brand say we want our brand to have a specific look, that's just what it is. You don't have to like it. There are plenty of black owned beer brands, black owned alcoholic brands as well too. You just don't know about them. But and I don't drink, and I know about these brands. But like, there are plenty of them out there. There's not a lot, but there are plenty of them that could use a Essence Janae, that can use the other model, that can use black women to promote their brands, especially influencers with a bunch of following and stuff like that, that can promote their brands, you know? So if that's your whole thing, you want to be a brand ambassador for, a beer brand, or just brand ambassador in general, go where you'd be welcome. I think that was the best advice I can give. And I don't know if y'all heard that, but I'm gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? The motorcycle's going crazy, but I'm gonna keep going. But like, that's the best advice I can give to, in essence, Janae, if she's watching this right now. And to, hopefully you're not lying. Hopefully you're not lying. And if you are lying, like, this is not the situation to where like it's cool to be lying about shit like that, because yeah. So yeah, does she present and again, this is only a statement. What I read was only a statement. It wasn't necessarily like proof of anything. And also, they didn't, they should have, or they could have, if they really wanted to save their ass, explain as to why they would tell Janae that all the events were canceled, but then the very next day the event continues to go on. You can't like, it doesn't, the math ain't mathing. You say it's been canceled for the week and you have one the next very next day. And yet they didn't explain that, at least to the brief statement that I saw. There was no explanation to that. Again, all they said was, Your Honor, she's lying. We did not fire her because of her skin color. This is one of those sticky situations, like I said. I mean, it does suck that, you don't fit the bill if you are black, and this is something that's happened. It's happened to a lot of folks, but black folks will go for something and they don't necessarily fit the branding's idea of what they want out there to be to promote. You know what I'm saying? Um, But ultimately, again, that should have been done long before they even had Janae and the other model uh sign up. Because I'm pretty sure before they even do that, they see what they look like. And not only that, they have them sign a bunch of documents, this, that, and the third, what they can do, what they can't do, what they can say, what they can't say, and all this other stuff. Ultimately, they broke their own document when they severed ties with her. But at the same time, it's like, it's not like this woman is white passing at all. Not even the other one. I know a lot of folks get to looking at black folks and they get to thinking, like, I be seeing a bunch of, you know, there are some white passing black folks out there. I'll tell you that. But I be looking at like old photos, like old photos of like history, and they will show like a light skinned woman or a light skinned man, and they're clearly light skinned to me, but then they ended up like, you're like, this person, uh white people thought this person was white. So this was actually the first black person to ever integrate without, before integration was legal. But they was living their life as a white person. So therefore, like, and then I'm looking at them like, y'all really couldn't tell this woman was white, was not white. Y'all really couldn't tell this man was not a white man this entire time. But so it's like, it's crazy how like some folks really can't tell black folks apart. They're either like people can always tell that I'm black. Maybe it's because of the nose. So who knows? Maybe it's because of the hair. Maybe it's because of the lips. I don't care. I'm glad that you can tell I'm black. But at the same time, like, it's like, do you really think black people are all one shade? You know, did you really thought that black people are just either my color or just darker? And if they look like a Essence Janae and the other woman as well, then they must be white. I don't know, but that was bad on their part for hiring these young women in the first place. My thing is, if you made the mistaken in a sense that Hulk Hogan doesn't want non-white women to model his brand. It's pretty much, right? If you made that mistake in doing so in the first place, at the very least, and I don't know if Janae and the other woman got paid. I don't think they did, because I feel as though how this situation was supposed to work was, as long as they did the entire week of promotion of the beer, they would get their check. They obviously only did a day, and then got fired and wasn't able to finish the rest of the week like the white women were supposed to do so, or probably did so, right? So unfortunately, they probably didn't get paid. At the very least, if they didn't get paid, the brand that messed up, the hiring company that messed up, should have at least still paid them in full, by the way, not half, not for the day that they did, in full, because that's your L. Do homework on the brands that you're going to work with, that's going to reach out to you and say, we want models or we want whoever for this event that we're doing. Do research on them. You're so damn hungry for that connection and all that stuff that you made your brand look bad trying to just hire for this event. Now, maybe it was a last minute thing. I highly doubt that it was a last minute thing where they're like, oh, shoot, we got to find models today, or else Hulk Hogan and this beer brand is going to move on to another agency. We really want this bag. I don't think it was like that. I just think it was bad planning on their part, but bad planning on their part, and then them realizing that Hulk Hogan, maybe because he's racist, came to them and said, "Yeah, you know what? I want white women only to promote this beer brand, not the two darkies you forced me to take pictures with, okay? Or you had me take pictures with, okay? So fix it right now, damn it, or the hoster is gonna run wild on you, okay?" And they fixed it. they they fixed it, but made it worse. They lied to the woman and pretty much said, "Listen, no, the event is canceled for the week, and that's why you're not working. It has nothing to do with you. Trust me." And it doesn't. It's not Janae's fault. It's not the other model's fault that um One, they should not be made to feel like it's their fault for being black or being ethnic or not being white. They're not. They didn't do anything wrong in that in at all for being who they are. So keep it real with them. Keep it real. Keep it real with them. You know, ding like that little notification said, but no, keep it real with them. Just say, yo, listen, the client, you ain't have to say the name, even though it was clear as day who the client was. Just keep it still at the client wants to go a different route as far as the models he wants to endorse his brand. Okay. And therefore, you aren't able to finish out the rest of this week. And then, as I stated before, they need to pay her and the other model. So they can go on by saying something like, we apologize for this inconvenience, but we will pay you for in full for the entire week. Now, would Janae still would that fix the problem with Janae and the other women if she does have a problem? Um, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Essence Janae that. Some people are probably gonna be like, well, at least they still pay me. That it is what it is. She's probably gonna be like, no, no, because you took away this opportunity from me. This wasn't a big deal to me to be able to model this brand, and therefore I can't do that. So I'm gonna want something more. I'm gonna make it a big deal. I'm not saying my way of how this brand should have resolved this solution is the end all be all, that it would have worked. What I'm saying here is that it's better than lying, straight up lying to the woman, and then giving her ammunition to possibly lie on y'all. Allegedly, possibly, I'm gonna say, not even allegedly, right? If she is lying. But as I've stated before, she has a case, and y'all just put out a statement saying, "Nuh-uh, that's not a case. You don't necessarily have a case, especially within again the text messages where you're telling her that the entire event has been canceled for the week, and that's why she can't come into work essentially, and yet the event happened the very next day." Yeah. So that's my thoughts on the whole situation. I feel as though if I keep talking now, I'm gonna keep talking in circles. I'm trying not to do that. Keyword trying. But let me know your thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts about this topic and the other topics that I shared on this podcast. You can do so by comment on the comment section below. All right. You can do so if there is audio episode still. You can do so by sending in a voice message or sending me a message on Instagram, however you feel like doing it. I don't know if the voice message feature is even a thing anymore on Spotify for podcasters. And it still might be. If that's the thing and you feel compelled, compelled, compelled to do it, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? But what I would greatly appreciate is if you were to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this, share the podcast wherever you're listening to it, like, rate the podcast as well, especially wherever you're listening to it. And once again, support my book, Late Nights on Broadway, found in the description box below. I will greatly appreciate you. It's a great story, if I do say so myself. Um, yeah, go tell folks about it. Everyone you know who loves writing. I mean, well, yeah, if they love writing, but if they love reading as well, ding ding ding. Let them know. Let them know that the book is out. All right. Until next time, check out the links in the description box below as well, all that good stuff. Until next time, until next episode, stay black if you are black, stay beautiful, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA plus lives matter. Black women matter, black men matter, and you matter. Unless you're racist or a rapist. All right. And I'm out. Peace.